right, hey folks, we're going to get started here in a hot second. So I'm going to bring this volume down on the music a little bit. And what's going on, guys? Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, I publish them online, and we're creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We're continuing today. I've got a little bit of time. My schedule is going to be a little weird this week, so I'm sneaking in hours where I can. I've got a couple now, so I'm going to grab them while I can. We've been converting the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition 2024 mechanics into the Color Mana system from Magic the Gathering. We take the 8 schools of Magic and remove them and instead replace them with color. The 5 color system for Magic the Gathering is white, blue, black, red, green. Here's some of the things that aspects that each color kind of represents, like cooperation, divinity, healing, light, protection. Restraint is a white magic sort of energy, like black, ambition, darkness, entropy, fear, manipulation, soul. And green, animals, plant, healing, nature, senses, spirit. Blue is traditionally like air, water, suppression, illusion, ingenuity, mind magic, like enchantment. So the different colors, they replace the 8 schools. And if you want to really go down the rabbit hole, instead of using Vancian spell slots, you can switch to the Color Mana paradigm, where it is each point of mana, each spell level costs 1 point of mana, and like in the instance of, like, say, Cure Wounds, we saw above, healing is both white and green magic. So for a 1 point of mana, if you're using color magic, then you could choose either 1 white or 1 green mana to cast Cure Wounds. If you wanted to cast a 5th level Cure Wounds spell, you would spend 5 mana. 1 point needs to be white or green, and the other 4 points can be whatever you want. So, like, if you're playing an Azorius, like, say, an Azorius Syndicate character whose color identity is white and black, then you'd have access to Cure Wounds through your white mana, but black mana would also give you access to, like, Command and Compel Duel, while white mana wouldn't give you access to that. So when you take a short rest, whether you get mana back or not, any mana that you have in your mana pool, you can change what color those points are devoted to. If you're playing a Azorius Senate character, then your color identity as part of that guild generally is going to be white and black specifically, or if you wanted to be an interesting character with an interesting side story, you might have like a 3rd color in there someplace. And so when you're, like, say, building your Orzhov Syndicate cleric, you're primarily going to be picking spells from white and black because they're thematically appropriate for Azorius Senate. But if you, like, say, wanted a blue spell and you don't have access to white or black, you can research the spell using downtime at your guild, or in Strixhaven at your college, or in Theros in Piety to your gods, and have the color change to be the color that you want. So, like, you could learn Cure Wounds instead of white and green, you could learn it as red and black if you wanted to, like for a Rakdos character that has a red-black identity. Healing isn't a big factor in the Cult of Rakdos, but you can pick it up, but you'd have to spend like a week of downtime at a Rakdos guild hall to get access to the magic to be able to convert Cure Wounds into the color that you want. If you want to do it on the fly, you can just double prepare the spell. So, like, I could prepare Cure Wounds as a white-green magic spell, and then if I only use red and black because that's my role-playing I chose, then I would prepare the spell again. I'd have 1 less spell of inventory for me to cast from, but it's now going to be the color that I want. So if you don't need a lot of spells and you wanted to condense them down into a narrow field, you could have, like, all your spells would automatically be black. Or if you spend enough time and downtime, like, say, if you're using the Bastion system, guild halls are bastions that you can get access to based on the rank of your renown. So the rank on a scale of 1 to 5, if you're a 3rd rank Rakdos, then you could get into the archives of the Rakdos Guild Hall and convert any spells up to 3rd rank is like it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could, for free, time served, but it's basically just spend time at your guild, and however long it takes for you to research spells, you can do it for free because you're a member of that guild. So it helps build in time into your campaign if you want to use bastions and downtime in an MTG campaign. This is a great way to make use of that time and to encourage players to want that downtime so that they can go through and, like, you could convert like one spell into any color that you want up to your maximum spell level per week that you spend in downtime activity, regardless of the level, for instance. My music isn't going. So we're in the process of converting all of these. Here's the list that comes with the books that we've already published. Here's the old durations, and we're updating these old durations to the new system that we're using for our mana. Give me a second here. I'm gonna get some music going here. All right, so we know that. We know that instant spells are cast and the effect end immediately, like healing or fireball. Concentration, our duration only ends when your concentration ends, regardless of its duration. And like the listed duration of the book doesn't matter if it's just a concentration spell. Now you could hold it all day if you can maintain the concentration checks. And the DM's encouraged to occasionally give you a shit test to see if you'll fail it or not and burn the mana to have to cast it again. Persistent is the spell ends after you take a short or long rest. If you never take a short or long rest, the spell will never end. That's why liches are so dangerous, because they can pump up on a shitload of persistent spells and they will never end. So undead casters like Orzhov or Rakdos, you can get into being an undead, and then you can get into an eternal persistent day. And then the asterisk here for lingering is for instant spells and concentration spells. The effects end with the duration that's listed in the player's handbook. So, like for example, hold person lasts a minute normally. You have to maintain concentration, and it'll end after a minute. Same like with. Wrathful Smite, for instance, the fear effect lasts for a minute. On the effect of instant, like for example, Featherfall, it's a reaction spell, and the magic lingers for an entire minute while you're gliding down to touch safely 600 feet below where you started. And so that is an instant spell that has a lingering effect. Shield is a instant spell that creates an armor class bonus, and it has a lingering effect of the magic bleeding off after a round. Grease, I think, lasts a minute. You cast Grease as an instant spell, it's on the ground, and then it just bleeds off after a minute. It dissipates. So lingering can be applied to instant and concentration spells. Like Blight, for instance, I think lasts 7 days. That's an instant spell with 7 days of lingering magic. So you don't have to maintain anything that has lingering on it, or you're maintaining concentration or persistent, can be dispelled. So one of the things I wanted to come back to, it was kind of burning a hole in my head earlier today, so I thought I would come back and address it, is the spell Hunter's Mark. Thank you. So Hunter's Mark in the let's peel open. Here we are. Let's go back to Hunter's Mark and look at it real quick. Hunter's Mark is a concentration spell that lasts an hour, and you can extend it to 8 hours with a third level spell slot and 24 hours for a 5th level spell slot. It's a concentration spell, which is why most people don't find that hinging features on it as a ranger are a horrible idea. So what we had initially done was made it an instant spell with a lingering effect, and the lingering effect will be determined by the level of the saving throw of the spell slot, or the amount of mana that you spend. But you don't have to maintain concentration on it anymore. And I thought that's too generous to everybody. So I'm switching that back to Hunter's Mark, but what we are going to do instead is Ranger with Hunter. Here's some notes that I'm taking as we redesign the books. For people that are actually, quick tangent here. Well, for people that are actually interested in these books, and hey folks, what's going on? Let's scroll down here. If you look at the Color Mana Spell Point Variant Rule bundle here, that's on the DMsGuild, all of my books have 100% free preview. So we're going to go down to, is this where I want to be? Actually, this isn't. Yeah, I just wanted to point out these books that they all exist already, like the 2014 original version of these is in the revised Color Magic spell list. And you can see here, like, it has all the spells, like what defines magic and like what damage types are devoted to each color of magic. So between the aspects of magic and the types of damage that it deals, these spells are all devoted to one or more color of spells. And so this is, I just wanted to point out that all these books are 100% free previews. There's 6 books in the series, and I'm revising all of them. So we'll be spending time here on screen throughout 2026, updating each of these books in turn. We're going to first tackle the core mechanics, then Knights and Tricksters. Then we'll update Point Warlocks, and then we'll revisit the Monk and start in on all the martial classes using the martial power system that we've developed. All the playtest stuff for this system is in the Color Mana and Martial Powers playtest content. And that is available for read-only right now, but completely available for you guys is the 5e Color Mana playtest document. So it's a Google Doc. There you go. Here's my Discord where we playtest this stuff. You're most invited to hang out there and ask questions and join games if you're interested. But skipping this aside, just want to give you guys context for, like, where's this stuff coming from. But if we go back to the... here we go. Let's go to here, and let's go to the Ranger real quick, because the Ranger changed in 2024, so we're updating since 2024 changed how 5e works, we're updating how Color Mana works to coincide and better complement what the 5e24 game engine is now. So going down to the Ranger, here's what we're going to do. Thank you, Timely Timer. I've got a 20-minute timer that's making sure I don't get into too many tangents or anything. But let's look at the Ranger here real quick before we move along. What is it? Okay, so class features, right? Favorite enemy, level 1. You always have the Hunter's Mark spell prepared. You can cast it twice without expending a spell slot, and you regain all expended uses of this ability when you finish a long rest. The number of times you can cast this spell without a spell increases when you reach certain levels. So it'll end up being basically your proficiency modifier worth of Rangers. The reason they did this is because you lose concentration. So let's remove that as a problem. We're going to change, when we publish this book, we'll have a little bit more information about the Rangers. So favored enemy, when you cast Hunter's Mark, it is an instant spell with lingering effects. So if a Ranger, everyone that casts a spell has to concentrate on it like usual, and it lasts a minute for first level spell slot. But the Ranger, because of favorite enemy, when you cast Hunter's Mark, it is a lingering spell. So it's an instant spell, and the magic lingers for however much mana you pump into it. 1 point a minute, 3 mana is 8 hours, and persistent. For 5 mana, it's 24 hours. So what we'll then do is come back to this feature and update it as we gain levels. Let's see, where is it? Relentless Hunter, level 13. Level 1 equals favorite enemy. And then level 2 equals Relentless Hunter. When you cast Hunter's Mark, it is a persistent spell. Level 13, sorry. So now persistent spells, they last until you take either a short or a long rest. So you don't need to spend, you could spend 5, when you cast Hunter's Mark, it is an instant spell. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you can choose the duration to be persistent. So you can choose, I can either spend a 5th level spell slot and have it last for 24 hours, or at 13th level, I can spend 1 spell slot and it will last, until I take a rest. And then I can cast it for 1 spell point again, and it'll last till the next rest. So I could spend 3 spell points. If I had if I only take one short rest a day, which is pretty typical for modern 5e24 mechanics, I spend 1 point, and then I take my short rest, and then I spend another spell point, and then my persistent effect is done for the day. So, or when I take a short rest, I can just automatically spend a spell. I could automatically spend a spell point while I am resting to have the spell remain active through the short rest. And when I'm sleeping with my long rest or whatever, I could spend the mana while I'm sleeping to have the spell continue into the next day for my next short rest. So, instant spells, concentration spells, persistent spells, and then you have the lingering magic kicker. So everyone uses it as concentration, and it has the lingering magic that ends after a minute or whatever. The ranger at first level gets it as an instant spell, so you don't have to maintain concentration on it, and it still lasts the listed amount of time depending on how much mana you spend. And then by 13th level, it now becomes persistent. So you no longer have lingering magic. It just lasts until you take a short rest and then spend another point, and it'll last that long again. So at 13th level, you're downcasting it. So now you don't have to worry about spending extra castings of the spell to ramp it up to like a longer duration, like you'd have to spend a 5th level spell slot. But does it say specifically at what level you cast it? Maybe I missed that. Hold on. You always have the Hunter's Mark spell prepared. You can cast it twice without expending a spell slot, and you regain all expended uses of the ability when you finish a long rest. The number of times you can cast a spell without a spell slot increases when you reach certain levels. Does that mean I get to cast it at 5th level? When I'm 17th level ranger, does that mean I get to cast it at 5th level? Like automatically for free? Because it doesn't say that specifically. I think free spells are always at the lowest level. It doesn't say specifically here, but I believe all with this free spell, like we don't need to give you a free casting of the spell. You get mana, and you only have to spend 1 point of mana. Like your 20th level ranger is going to have 40 mana. You're going to have 2 mana at first level. You're going to have 4 at second, and it's just going to ramp from there to 40 at 20th level. So by 3rd level, when you take your subclass option, you'll have 6 mana that you get to use per day on 6 first level spells, 2 third level. Actually, at 3rd level, you're still only casting first level spells. So by the time you get to 5th level, you'll have 10 mana. You can cast 10 first level spells a day, or you can cast 5 second level spells, or any mix in between. And if you're going to at that level, you're going to run out of Hunter's Mark after a minute. So you don't need a free casting of it. You get a shitload of mana to cast it with. Like, the amount of mana you get makes up for any free spells that your character would normally get. The reason they're giving us free spells now in the game is because spell slots is a limited commodity that isn't parsable. Like, you can't take a 3rd level spell slot and break it up into 3 extra 1st level spell slots. So you have 7 1st level spell slots at 5th level. That's what spell points do. So we want to get rid of the free castings of a spell. Like for example, the one that would be hurt the most by this, aside from the Ranger, which we just fixed, is the Warlock, the Archfey Warlock. The Archfey Warlock gets a number of free castings of Misty Step as their Fey power. They get a number of free castings a day equal to, like, I think their charisma bonus or whatever. And it's a Misty Step is a 2nd level spell, so it's a 2nd level spell slot. They get a number of free castings. That makes sense. But since you get so much mana in this system, we don't need to give you free castings. Instead, what we did is we reduced the cost to 1 mana. So a Warlock can downcast Misty Step and all of the bonus things that they get every level that you can add on as kicker effects to the teleportation is an extra point of mana. So you can do, like, at 20th level, you could have like a 5 mana Misty Step that damages people when you leave, damages people when you arrive. You teleport somebody with you do it, and you both get temporary hit points along the way. That's 4 kicker effects for on top of the 1 mana for Misty Step, and that's 5 mana. And at 20th level, you could do that 10 times, and then 4 more times if you take a short rest. So like you get a ton of mana, so you don't need free castings. We just change how you interact with the magic system so that the magic points are more flexible for you to do more class features and more kicker effects with spells, while still remaining inside of that half casting or full casting scaling of 1 point mana per level. So it's really intuitive and easy to use. The restriction that we can balance spell points with is color mana. So if you have to use a point of white or green magic to cast Cure Wounds, I don't know, let's go with Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark is a white, blue, and red spell. So if you run out of white, blue, and red mana, then you don't cast any spells anymore. You can't cast any white, blue, or red spells again until you get more. Until you take a short or a long rest, then you can change the color of any mana in your mana pool. So this is a way of restricting spell access to spellcasters by forcing them to either have a broad, shallow mana pool where they have all the colors but not a lot of mana of each color, or they spend time and downtime researching spells so that the color that you want, so that you can be like mono black and cast all of the spells in the rainbow, but you've spent a lot of time in your, like, say, your guild hall or your Strixhaven college or in shrines to the god that you worship, aligned to the colors that you like for your character, and then time spent equals like a bastion turn. Any time you're in your bastion, regardless of the spell level, 1 week, and you can convert any spell that you want into the color that you please. Now, like for you, Fireball could be white instead of red, or healing Cure Wounds could be instead of using a point of white or a point of green, you could choose a point of blue, so that you become a mono blue character, specializing your mana pool, and at the same time changing the way that your spells look, so you can build a narrative around, I am a Rakdos character, all that I do is black and red, and here's how I express my spells, like with like black energy, or like flames of fire, or make your eyes glow red, whatever effects you want. Since it's a color mana system, if I'm casting a red spell, what's going to happen? You're going to see some sort of red effect happen, right? That's what's neat about Dimir. Dimir can change the color of their magic to match the disguise that they're using. So when they cast Mind Sliver, it's gonna, and they're, say, infiltrating Gruul, their Mind Sliver is gonna feel like green or red magic. They'll probably use red magic, hit you for damage like that. So you can manipulate color to affect the narrative, to tie in, like if you're using if you're using the color philosophy system for your alignment instead of good, bad, whatever, or like no alignment, you can now use your color identity as your alignment, and then the school or the guild or the gods that you devote yourself to in the MTG campaigns will reflect the color of yourself. Like if I was a Rakdos character, I wouldn't be casting Azorius magic. Azorius is white and blue, Rakdos is red and black. So if I'm a Rakdos character, I'm going to emanate that magical aura energy. It's what infuses my character. It's everything. And with the martial power system, all of our martial characters have a half casting progression with mana now on the or rather a monk progression of 20 mana at 20th level on a short rest. And we've built 127 mana fueled maneuvers, reactions, strikes, exploits, and sustained powers as an alternate magic system, so that every character in an MTG game, all of them can use color mana. So your Rakdos Barbarian is, rocking Rush Attack with a point of red mana. You can channel this exploit as part of your move action. So when your Rakdos Barbarian charges, you can spend a point of mana to turn on Rush Attack. And then when you move at least 10 feet during your turn, the first attack you make before the beginning of your next turn, you can roll 1 power die per mana spent this way, adding the highest result to the attack roll. So basically you give yourself inspiration by spending a point of mana, and as long as you're charging at somebody, I'll do, like, at first level, I'll add D6 to my attack roll because I'm charging. And if I'm like a Minotaur Rakdos character using the Rush Attack, I can make bullhorn attacks as a bonus action as part of a charge, and I'll not only do more damage, but I will also get a bonus to my attack roll. So charging is a good way for my Rakdos Minotaur Barbarian to close distance and cause trouble. So that, like, one example, for instance, out of like 127. So you can build kits around your character, just like you build kits around your cleric or your druid, your bard, how they interact with the world through how they spend their mana and casting spells. This martial power system allows all of our martial characters to do the same. If you want to play a tank that shuts down attacks, stop people from moving, forces people to target somebody else when they target the wizard that's inside of your, say, your paladin aura, getting bonuses to saving throws, well, I'm going to deflect attacks away from you. Not only by having warding bond active, but I'm also going to take a bunch of reaction powers that forces your attack to target somebody else. So our guy that's concentrated on the 9th level spell doesn't have to worry about having his concentration screwed, for instance. So the system allows us to actually play the roles that we think we're supposed to do, of like tanking and striker and controller and healer. These are valid MMO roles that can actually be executed with the 5e game engine when you add on a number of mana powers that allow you to, like, goad, force people to attack you. If they're going to make any attacks, it has to be on you, for instance, which is so much more than a compelling duel. So it's a lot more expensive than compelling duel to use, but it's great. There you go. So anyway, so those are some of the ideas that we're playing with. And since we're updating all these books for 2024 and intend for them to be used with 2024, it's time for us to update all the spells. So that's my diatribe about how the system works. I just talked about how we've changed Hunter's Mark from our last visit. We had initially set it as, when we started, we had it as an instant spell with lingering effects for a minute, but that's too kind to everybody. Only the Rangers should get cool shit like that. So everyone that takes Hunter's Mark is going to have concentration with lingering effects. But the Hunter, the Ranger specifically, it becomes an instant spell, and with the duration being a lingering effect that you don't have to maintain concentration on. And then at 13th level, you become a Relentless Hunter, which then is you don't have to concentrate, and the effect will last for not a minute, or not spend a 3rd level spell slot for 8 hours, or a 5th level spell for 24 hours. As a persistent spell, you spend 1 point, and it lasts until you take a rest. And then you spend it, so if you take one short rest in the middle of the day, that's 1 point. And then you can turn it on again and leave it on without having to maintain concentration. It's just always active until you take your long rest or the next short rest. So it's 1 point at that point. So at 13th level, instead of being a 5th level spell, it's now like effectively a 2nd level spell and no concentration. So I think that's a good glam up and helps reflect the uniqueness of Ranger being built around Hunter's Mark, and is now you immediately strip the concentration penalty away from them. And then by 13th level, you're it's a 4th level. At 13th level, your character would only be able to maintain concentration for 8 hours with a 3rd level spell slot, because it's 1st and 2nd. No, it's 2nd, 3rd, and then 4th and 5th. Is that right? Hold on, let's go back and look at the spell again real quick. I feel dizzy. Hunter's Mark, it is 3 to 4 for 1st level spell slot to cast. 3 to 4 equals 8. 5, 5th level spell slot is 24. So we can't even make it 24 hours until 17th level. With this, we can drop the cost for all day down to 2 mana, period. There you go. So it's a market improvement, and immediately removes the need to get free castings of the spell. So cheers. What other? I think there's another feature inside of Ranger. Hold on. Fighting style, extra attack, roving, expertise. Roving, get the extra attack here. Tireless, Relentless Hunter, Precise Hunter. You have advantage on attack rolls against the creatures currently marked by your Hunter's Mark. I'm okay with that. And then also what I want to do, level 17. Level 17 equals Precise Hunter. You have advantage on attack rolls and against the creature currently marked by your hunter's mark. In addition, you roll 2. Is it D6? Thank you. In addition, you roll 2d6 extra force. Is that how it's worded? In addition, you now deal an extra 2d6 force damage. And then level 20 equals Foeslayer. The damage die of your hunter's mark is now a D10 instead of D6. So at first level, we'll do 1d6. That's really late to the game, that Precise Hunter. 1, 13, 17. That's a 4-level jump. That's a 3-level jump. 5-level jump. Level 6. Thank you, Timely Timer. What do we get at level 6? Roving. Let's go with favorite enemy. Relentless Hunter, Precise Hunter, Foe Slayer. How about what's a good name for this? The feature is going to be you now deal an extra 2d6 force damage when you hit a creature currently marked by your hunter's mark. Such a horrible phrasing. What is a good name for that? How about Damaging Hunter? Sounds stupid as shit. Precise Hunter, Relentless Hunter, Foe Slayer. How about Foe Slayer is good. How about well, Foe Maimer sounds stupid. How about Hunter's Mark, favorite enemy? Shit, there's got to be a good name for this. I'm gonna put it at level 6. What is level 7? There is no level 7. Oh, that's a subclass level. Level 6. What if we built the extra die into every subclass? Short or long rest. You can replace the chosen option with another. What? You gain one of the following feature options of your choice. When you finish it, what's the option? You gain one of the following. Am I crazy? What's the option? Once per turn, when you deal damage to the target marked by your hunter's prey, you can also deal that spell's extra damage to a different creature. Nice. Superior Hunter's Defense. You gain one of the following feature options of your choice when you take a short or long rest. You can replace the chosen option with the other one. Am I crazy? Isn't there supposed to be something here? It just isn't. I'm really confused. Something's not working here. Wait. Oh, am I just not logged in? I'm not logged in. That's why. Okay, I'm gonna have to hide my screen here for a second. Excuse me, gentlemen, and ladies, while I go flip my screen. Don't want to give away my trade secrets where I hide in the shadows. There we go. Wow, that's crazy. Huh. All right, so let's go look at that again. Beastmaster 7 hits an attack roll and deals damage. You can choose force damage or it's normal, and this would be a good place to put that extra die. Beguiling Twist. Avoiding Charm in addition, whatever frightened condition. Nah, we should probably just build it in as. How do I want to do that? Level 6? Okay. So we're going to call it TBD. Catchphrase. Seriously, if anyone can think of what that title should be, I will appreciate it because I can't think of it. Relentless Hunter. Precise Hunter is the sneak attack is the advantage. That totally makes sense. Foe Slayer. Fine, because it's now 2d10 instead of d10. That's better. It's not awesome, but it's better. Like Crippling Strike doesn't make sense. What would that be? What would that be? All right, we're gonna have to let that sit. I'm burning time, so let's get back to it. So that's all that stuff. We're gonna dive back in with level 2. Those are just the changes that I wanted to make, so I just wanted to address that. Level 2 isn't very long, so let's kick through that and we'll see where we're at the end of that to see if we can get to level 3 or not. I think I'm going to be back at lunch tomorrow doing 3rd level. I've got family coming in this weekend, so I'm not going to have. I won't be here Thursday night. I won't be here Saturday morning. I'm not playtesting, so I'm losing production hours because I love my family. I actually want to see them. But the consequence of that is I have to make up time. So I'm choosing to make up that time now and at lunches later on in the week. And okay, so we got at least an hour left. So let's start digging into these. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the spell. We're gonna look what it says. I'm going to make a guess about what I think the spell's color and its duration should be, and then we'll compare it to what we already have. And then we'll suss through and resolve any conflicts and update the list. And once we finish with 2024, I'll probably publish that right away as the revised spell list for 2026. And then we'll integrate it into the core mechanics when we start writing up the player options and shit like that, like the character options and stuff. So 8, 2nd level. It lasts 8 hours, so that immediately tells me it should be persistent, right? 2nd level spell, persistent is until your next short rest or long rest. Choose up to 3 creatures within range. Each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration. That tells me white and green right away. Each target hit point increases by, so I'm going to call it persistent and white-green. White and green was right, and hey, how about that? Persistent. We got it right off the cuff. We're off to a good start here, guys. Let's look at Alter Self. That's transmutation, so it's probably going to be blue and red. Let's see what else it has going on. You alter your probably green as well. Blue, red, and green, I think, make the most sense. Polymorph reads as kind of like red and blue to me. Polymorph like blue, like really into Simic and Izzet territory, and red for like Gruul and Is that again also being red makes sense? So that aquatic adaptation, that's blue for white. That's blue for water. I'm good with that, and it's animalistic stuff. So green makes sense. Change appearance. You're disguising yourself. That's a blue ambition, and it's physically altering your body. So that again, that's green. And then natural weapon, slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning damage tends to be green. So second level spell, alter self. It's a swim speed, it's alteration, and it gives you a weapon. It's a second level spell. I'm gonna make it an instant spell with an hour duration. With an asterisk. It was concentration, which is, is what it was, but I don't think you should have to maintain concentration on alter self, honestly. Yeah, so we're gonna make it an instant effect with because it's not a real big combat spell. It's I can see change appearance being a social stress situation. I don't like the idea of the aquatic adaptation of you losing concentration and being stuck underwater. I think that's I don't think that this doesn't feel nice to me. Yeah, we're gonna go with instant because of the aquatic adaptation. URG, there we go. Concentration is also very brutal in this game, so we only leave concentration effects on things that are like actively detrimenting your opponent, like hold person. Polymorph, we will make it into a concentration spell because you can polymorph other with it. It's not just polymorph self and polymorph other used to be separate spells. I think it was in 3rd edition they merged them into the same spell, but polymorph other could be a concentration, a lingering magic effect that'll like last a minute or 10 minutes, something like that. But if you cast it on yourself, you could realistically have it be instant with a lingering effect or even a persistent spell. Animal Messenger, that's immediately going to be green, sure. This seems like an instant lingering effect as well. Oh, that's 24 hours. A tiny beast of your choice that you can see within range will succeed, or it attempts to deliver a message for you. If the target you specify a location you have visited and recipient who match a general description, such as this person or blah. You also communicate a message of up to 25 words. The beast travels to the duration for the duration towards the specific location, covering about 25 miles per 24 hours or 50 miles if the beast can fly. When the beast arrives, it delivers your message to the creature that you described, mimicking your communication. If the beast doesn't reach its destination before the spell ends, the message is lost and the beast returns to where you cast the spell. Using a higher level spell slot, the spell's duration increases by 48 hours for each spell slot level above 2. Okay, we can make that an instant with lingering magic effect. I'm good with that. Making it persistent would mean that I'd have to keep spending mana, and I don't know where the creature is. So it being a persistent effect it ties me to that animal that could be 100 miles away after 2 days of persisting the spell, and I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's completed its magic or not because I'm spending mana on it, and that's a bad design. To not know if your mana is actually doing something or not when you spend it. But to tell them, yeah, your animal is still up and running gives you more information than the spell warrants. So this is a good modification. Now it was instant, persistent, and concentration when we first built it, and that was okay. But I think having these lingering magic kickers, a lot of them have it. But basically it allows us to get rid of the penalties that are attached to concentration without having without necessarily, like, it gives you, like, concentration it'll last all day if you can maintain concentration on it. That's great unless it's supposed to be a defensive spell, in which case concentration, like, why can't you concentrate on haste while you have alter self active? There's no reason for you to do that. So making it an instant spell with lingering magic, I think, is a better direction to go. And if I change my mind, I can just change it. Easy peasy. But for now, that's what's feeling right to me. Let's see. Until dispelled. So this is what? Arcane Lock. So that's definitely instant lingering. And it's Arcane Lock. So that's probably going to be probably white and blue. Magically affected duration. The lock on lock means that the password that when spoken within 5 feet unlocks it for 1 minute. Surpassing the magic is suppression, which is a blue effect, and warding is a white effect. So I asterisk WU. Nice, we got it right. I asterisk, and then let's go to Arcane Vigor. You tap your life force to heal yourself. Roll one of you heal yourself by spinning hit dice. So that's going to be white and green again. And, well, there you go. So it's an instant effect. Arcane Vigor. One. It's instant with white-green. Yep. Next, Augury. Divination. It's probably going to be white and blue. Instant effect. You receive an omen. Take within the next 30 minutes. Choose an omen from the omen table. Good, bad, wheel, woe. Whatever. Like that really, did we really need a chart for that? Okay. Spell doesn't account for circumstances. Yeah, I'm going to say white, blue, I think makes the most sense. White, blue. Hey, how about that? Bark Skin. That's going to be white and green. Because white is warding and green is bark. Bark, 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 bark. You touch a willing creature until the spell ends. As soon as a bark-like appearance. Armor class is 17. If it's lower than that. It's a 1 hour duration. That's going to make it a persistent spell. So PWG. White for warding. Thank you. Beast Sense. That's obviously going to be G. You touch a beast. Persistent. 1 hour. When perceiving through the beast's senses, you benefit from any special. You touch the beast for duration. You perceive through the beast's senses as well as your own. When perceiving through the beast's senses, you benefit from any special senses it has. It's definitely G. The question is, so it lasts an hour. I could leave it as concentration. I like the idea of it being persistent. Let's leave it as concentration, and if we want to, we could give the monk and the druid kicker effects. No, let's just make it concentration. Let's just let it last for however long you can maintain concentration on it. That's the solution. No duration. So if it has an asterisk, it means up to the duration of the spell. If there is no asterisk, that means it only gets, like, if I can keep it going all day, then and I never lose concentration, then the spell will go all day. That's like your magic 8-ball scryer sort of character. Blindness, deafness. Lasts 1 minute. Okay, so that's going to be instant and with an asterisk. And blindness, deafness, blinded and deafened. That's going to be, I think, white, black, and blue. Hey, how about that? Blur. Body becomes blurred. Disadvantage to attack you. The disadvantage is a very blue vibe. Like armor class gains, saving throw boosts, temporary hit points. That's all white mana sort of energy. Disadvantage on a target, advantage for yourself or an ally. That's a very blue sort of thing to do. So and black because you are disabling somebody. That's a black vibe. So I'm saying it's going to be blur. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the wrong spell. Become blurred, disadvantage to attack you. So that's not black, that's just pure blue. And receive you with blind sight and an attack is immune to the effect if they have Blind Sight or True Sight. Maybe green. Now let's just go pure blue. 2, and it's concentration because they have disadvantage. Any creature has disadvantages on attack rolls against you. It's definitely worth the 2 mana. Yeah, we'll leave it concentration. I'm gonna leave it concentration with no asterisk, and I'm gonna clip it from the green list because I don't think there's enough nature elemental identity going on there to warrant green. Calm Emotions. Concentration with a set duration, that probably makes sense. 20-foot sphere, point to choose the range of the charisma saving throws, or be affected by one of the effects. So it's either going to be immune to Charm and Frightened. That's white. It's also red because Frightened and Charmed, those are both red energy sort of things, preventing you from being charmed and frightened. That's a white energy warding effect. And it ends those effects, so it suppresses. So that feels blue. So white, blue, red vibes here. The creature becomes indifferent about creatures of your choice, and it's hostile towards. The indifference ends if the target takes damage or witnesses its allies taking damage. When the spell ends, the creature tune returns to normal. The creature's attitude returns to normal. So definitely white and red and blue. White, blue, red. Calm Emotions. Concentration. Enchantment. I'm going to say concentration, but with no limit. Hey, how about that? White, blue, and red. White, black, and red. No, I don't think that's quite right. I don't think black is the right space here because it's moving you away from conflict, and so that kind of kills the black vibe. Yeah, and the suppression is blue. Okay, I'm happy with that. Hey, thank you, Timely Timer. Cloudo Daggers. Let's see how that do. How are we doing on our list? Yeah, we're about 25% of the way through. We're doing fine. Cloudo Daggers. Concentration spell, 1 minute. You conjure brings a 5-foot cube centered at the point of the range for each creature. Spinning daggers, 5-foot cube. Creatures that are area takes 44 slashing damage. You can take a magic action to teleport the cube up to 30 feet. So teleportation is white. Conjuring is generally going to be blue-red energy. And concentration because it deals damage to other people. So, and then concentration with a limit. So you can't just, so you can walk away from it and it'll just turn off by itself. That's important. So, C asterisk W U R. More colors, more better. Continual flame. Until dispelled. So I asterisk. Flame springs from its object you touch. The effect casts light, bright light and dim light. Another 20. It looks like a regular flame, but it creates no heat. It consumes no fuel. That's a false flame. I'm not going to make that red because there's no actual fire. It's just light shaped like a fire. So that's fake. He's going to call it white, and that's going to be instant until dispelled. Cordon of Arrows. Second level, 8-hour duration. So that's a persistent spell. It could be instant lingering. You touch up to 4 non-magical arrows and plant them in the ground or your space until the spell ends. The ammunition can't be physically uprooted. And whenever a creature other than you enters the space within 30 feet of the ammunition for the first time on its turn or ends its turn there, one piece of ammunition flies up to strike it. The creature must succeed a dex save or take piercing damage. That's a warding effect. So far, I just feel like it's W. and you can have creatures ignore it. Yeah, I'm going to just make it white. So it's going to be, and we're going to make it instant. We're going to make it instant with lingering effects. So I asterisk W. Crown of Madness. 1 minute concentration. Charm condition, that's blue. Automatically succeed. The creature succeeds automatically if it isn't humanoid. Okay. A spectral crown appears on the charmed person's head, and it must use its actions before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. The target can act normally on its turn if you choose no creature or if no creature is within its reach. The target repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the spell on success. And later, on your later turns, you must take the magic action to control the target or the spell ends. So, okay, concentration with a lingering effect, that's fine. Charm this feels very blue-black to me. You're not emotionally charging it, you're just puppeteering them. So that's blue-black, not red. So we'll go C asterisk UB. Darkness. Darkness is going to be black. For the duration, magical darkness spreads from a point within range and fills a 15-foot radius. Like, for example, the Way of Shadow, or the Shadow Warrior is what they call them now. That would be a good example of you spend mana, you cast the spell, and for you, it is instant with a lingering effect, no concentration required. Like, that would be a great third-level perk to put on that spell. Monk, Warrior of Shadow Magic. So 10 minute, we're going to make it 10 minute duration, concentration, that's fine. C asterisk B. C asterisk and B. That is appropriate. Let's go look at the monk. Come on, Bubba. Let's go look at the Warrior of Shadow. Darkness. You can expend 1 focus point to cast the darkness spell without a spell. See, that's downcasting. We did that with the Warlock for the Archfey because of mana. You can expend 1 focus point. You learn to draw your power from the Shadowfell, gain the following benefits. You can expend 1 focus point to cast the darkness spell without spell components. You can see within the spell's area. You get dark vision, shadowy figments. Unoccupied space that you can see, improve shadow step, draw shadow. You can expend 1 focus point to remove the requirement that you must start and end in the light. Nice. Cloak of Shadows. Spend 3 focus points to shroud yourself with shadow for 1 minute until you have the incapacitated condition or until you end your turn in bright light. While shrouded by these shadows, you gain the following benefits: invisibility, partially incorporeal, and shadow flurry. Okay, those are all cool. 3 mana, I love that. So that's like an instant lingering effect. Yeah, darkness, shadow arts. Darkness. You can expend 1 mana to cast the darkness spell as an instant duration with lingering effects. While the spell persists. Effects, and you can move the sphere up to 60 feet. You can move the spear to a space within 60 feet of you at the beginning of your turn. At the start of each of your turns. That's a clumsy word, but I like it. So there you go, and then the rest of it stays the same. So I just want to add that footnote in there for effect. Nice. I'll hit save there. Now let's kick back to the list again. So everyone has to use darkness, but has to maintain concentration the last 10 minutes. But for our monk, our shadow art monk, it is instant with lingering effects. So no concentration for you. Makes it very, very easy to throw down magic. I don't think we need to worry about concentration on other effects, but losing concentration screws all of your abilities. It's an unnecessary tax, in my opinion. Dark vision. This is going to be green and probably black. 8-hour duration. That's going to be an I asterisk. One creature you touch has dark vision with it. That's just going to be green. I asterisk green. Yep. I asterisk green. Detect thoughts. Detect thoughts. That's classic blue. 1 minute concentration. I'm fine with that. Sense thoughts. Read thoughts. Yeah, that's C asterisk blue, and I could see us going with like an enchanter type character, changing that from concentration into instant lingering. I like that. Yeah, there it is. Concentration. Perfect. Dragon's Breath. Yeah, Dragon's Breath is going to be every color because it deals damage of all the types of damage, and it deals damage, so it's going to be concentration with lingering effect. All the damage types. That's black green. That's white. That's white blue green. That's red. That's red. That's black green. Yeah, all colors. And it's concentration with lingering effects. So C asterisk white, blue, black, red, green. Cool. Enhance ability lasts an hour, so maybe it should be a concentration spell. Maybe it should have a lingering effect. Let's see. You touch a creature and choose SDIWC. No constitution, huh? For the duration, the target has advantage on ability checks using this. Why not concentration? Why not constitution? Touch a creature. Why not concentration? Constitution. I don't get it. It's just advantage on ability checks. It's not like that's a concentration check. That's a saving throw. Huh. Advantage is white, and ability scores tends to be green. So I'm going to call it. Jeez, in concentration. Does this warrant concentration? One stat. If I don't make it concentration, you're just gonna cast it 6 times or 5 times to ramp all your stats. So yeah, I'm okay because you can cast it multiple times and concentrate on multiple. It's just gonna cost you. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so concentration. No asterisk. Just open-ended concentration. However long you can hold it, you can have it. That makes the sense. So concentration, and it's going to be green and white. There you go. Concentration, green and white. Perfect. Enlarge, reduce. I suspect that's going to be the same. Concentration, 1 action. Make big, make small. Yeah, open-ended concentration sounds fine to me. And that's going to be red, and typically red and green. I think we've been doing transformation effects as blue as well. So URG, OpenC URG. Hey, how about that? OpenC URG. Enthrall. Second level, concentration. A distracting string of words causing creatures of your choice that you can see within range to make a wisdom saving throw. Any creature your companions are fighting against automatically succeed. On a fail, it has a -10 to wisdom perception checks. That's blue. That is blue for suppression. And enthrall? Yeah, C with lingering magic effect. That makes sense. So yeah, C asterisk U. Oh, that's right. It's an emotional state. That's why I went with red, because it's an emotional state. No, it's not really. I'm just gonna make that straight blue. I don't think that needs to be red. That doesn't actually involve emotions. It puts them in a trance. Hey, what's up? I'm missing text. Hold on. One boosts one's ability to do sleight of hand, stealth, and non-magical actions. Red boosts one ability to do sleight of hand. Enhance ability does red boost intelligence? Does red boost charisma? Maybe. Yeah, I can see charisma. Quick-witted, intelligence, and dexterity are the 2 primary stats for Izette, but that intelligence is mainly coming from blue. So Enthrall feels right as blue. Yeah, I could give that. I'm not opposed to that. It didn't jump out at me as generally I see red as being emotional. Like emotions, manipulating or changing emotions, like removing fear and charm effects, or rather removing fear is like a charm effect. Frightening frightened is causing or removing feels red, as well as causing it is black, but removing it or suppressing it is blue. I would like to see more examples of how red impacts, but the general mantra has been if you can have an excuse for it to get into there, you can. Let's take a look at our history here real quick. What's something else that's given us a bonus of some sort, a stat bonus specifically? Are there any other stat bonuses that we gain at lower levels that this could implement, that this could reflect? Hunter's Mark, that gave us advantage on certain skill checks, and that came through as red. Oh, it also does force damage. That's where Hunter's Mark's really coming through. But the excuse is there. Heroism gives us advantages, and also, yeah, I think we have enough precedence there for me to agree with you. I don't know why I'm resistant to it, but I think I appreciate the second look, Chrono. So always happy to embellish and take a second look, and I don't mind being more generous than stodgy. So cheers. Enthrall. Here's another red spell being queued up for us, right? Oh, we just did that. Find Steed. That's going to be a green effect and white and blue. Huh. I don't know where the black's coming from. Where'd my thing go? There we go. Is it black because it could be a fiend? I mean, that makes sense. Let's see what it says. Instant effect, and it never goes away. Otherworldly Steed. Ah, there you go. Celestial Fade and Feed. That's why we got our white, blue, red, and green. White, blue, black, and then Beast is... hold on. You summon an otherworldly being that appears as a loyal steed, and because it's a steed, we're giving it for green. White, blue, black, green. Good enough. And yeah, instant effect with no duration. Find traps. Horrible spell. Blue. Instant. You sense any trap within range that is within the line of sight. Trap purposes. Thus the spell could sense a glyph of warding or mechanical trap, but it wouldn't reveal a natural weakness in the floor. That would make it green if it could. Is present but not its location. You do learn the general nature of the danger posed by the trap. I'm just going to call that blue. Instant blue, Iabu. It's not actually protecting anything. Its divination is revealing things. So I think white is inaccurate there. Flame Blade is going to be red. Concentration. You evoke a fiery blade in your free hand. The blade is similar to the size, shape, blah. Magic action. You can make a melee spell attack with the fire blade on a hit. The target takes fire damage equal to 3d6 plus your spellcasting ability modifiers. The flaming blade sheds bright lights. We're just going to call that concentration with no duration because it's a weapon that you're wielding. You have to actively attack with it, and it's souped up, but it's basically just a weapon. It's not like a condition that you inflict upon somebody. And red is obvious because of fire and the light. So we're going to call it open-ended. We're just going to call it an open C with R. Cool. And how are we doing on time? Was it 6:30? Yeah, we're doing great. Hey, we just hit the halfway mark. Not bad. Flaming Sphere, also going to be a red spell. And you create a 5-foot cube. Fire damage. This is going to be concentration with a lingering magic effect asterisk because it deals damage to creatures around it. So that's going to be concentration asterisk. It's red because fire. That's easy enough. Green for find traps like bear traps, dug trips, and environmental plants, which are dangerous like beehives. I'm not feeling that one. Does find traps work on a giant spider? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It said natural. Well, ooh, good question. A web is something that is designed to snare things, and it is intentionally built. Venus flytraps. Okay, you've convinced me. I'm good with green. Hey, thanks for swinging by. Hey, if you look over my list once it publishes and you find anything that you think falls short, Chrono, I am definitely open to the conversation. And my understanding and depth of the Magic system is always, I'm always trying to improve. So I am never offended by these conversations and very much appreciate them. 10 days. That's a persistent. That is an instant but lingering effect. What's up? Yeah. A dug pit does count, but just like it said in the description, like a weakened floor wouldn't, but a dug trap specifically would. So yeah, that does feel very green. I'm good with that. Yeah, Chrono, I appreciate you, man. And seriously, I am. Just because this is my idea doesn't mean I'm the expert on color. I just know how to make the color system work in 5e. From there, I'm still learning. So it's always appreciated. Very appreciated. You touch a corpse or any other remains. Okay, corpse is going to be black magic immediately. And you're warding it from decay, so I'm going to call that white. And it's a body. I'm going to call it white, blue, and I'm going to call it all white, blue, and white, black, green. And it's an instant persistent effect. How about that? White, black, green. Gust of wind. It's naturally going to be blue and green. Wait. There it is. Thank you. 1 minute concentration. A line of strong wind appears. The gust disperses gas and vapor. It extinguishes candles. You can change the direction in which the line blasts from you. I should have a duration because you can walk away from it and you can't just leave it on forever. So, things that you afflict on, like things that you do to yourself, like haste and blur and stuff like that, you can make those concentration effects that don't need a lingering effect because it's on you. It's not going to leave you. But this is in a fixed location external to yourself. So concentration with an asterisk, and it's wind. That's air. That's blue, and most nature and weather effect type stuff is green. So. C asterisk UG. Perfect. And heat metal is obviously going to be red. Concentration, it deals a lot of damage to people, so asterisk concentration for sure, so it has a limit. And so you can turn it off by punching them in the face. So C asterisk R. There's a lot of asterisks coming through on this now, I'm seeing. I think it's better off for it, but I'm seeing a lot of them. I didn't think it would be this common, but there's so many spells with detrimental effects that I wouldn't want you just to be able to walk away from and leave on forever. That feels wrong. Hey, what's up? Gust of Wind also works with moving ships. Oh, yeah, it does. Which is also blue. Yeah, basically any water or wind effect is going to end up being blue and green. Cold damage is also blue and green, as well as white in this system. Hold person, that's suppression. That's probably going to be, what, white and blue. Concentration, asterisk, white, blue, paralyzed, yeah. Concentration, asterisk. I like the idea of it. I like the idea of it being blue. Yeah, let's make it blue. Invisibility beam, I see there, invisibility blue. That makes obvious sense. Invisibility, concentration, asterisk, blue. Let's go visit the ranger again, because I think, doesn't the ranger get vanished? Let's go look at that. Because we might have some fun with that. I would like these things to be hyperlinked so they just bounce you down to the feature, but alas. I thought you had... Oh, that must have been in the UA. Master, Deaf Explorer, Fighting Style, Roving, Tireless, Nature... Oh, Nature's Veil. 14. You invoke spirits of nature to magically hide yourself. As a bonus action, you can give yourself the invisible condition until the end of your next turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Until the end of your next turn. What's up? No, hold on. Let me figure out this Nature's Veil real quick. You can use this feature a number of times equal to... I don't like ability modifiers. You can cast invisible... it's not even... It's just the invisible condition, just flat. Until the end of your next turn. We're going to have 28 mana at this point, making you pay 1 mana for Nature's Veil until the end of your next turn. That's not really good. The actual invisibility spell lasts longer. Shit. I think I'm going to leave that be. All right, we're going to leave Nature's Veil be. What you got? You can modify Ritual Caster to expand your ability to cast X concentration spells, turning it into persistent. I'll consider that. Hold Person, black. Dominating wills of citizens, making a hero feel helpless while you escape. Is it enchantment or is it transmutation? I think that's the answer. It's a well, wait. It's enchantment. So yeah, white. Yeah, you're right. Blue black makes sense. Blue black makes more sense than white does. So let's just do that. No, white makes sense because that's control as well. White and black both have control bits to them. Blue black typically is when you're denying people, and white is also control. I think white, blue, black. I think those all make sense actually. Canuck. Nature's Veil adapted. Allow it to work with Nature's Veil change. When you use the dodge action or hide action by paying 1 mana, you can also become invisible. Ooh. It's the I see what you're saying. Well, hiding gives you the invisibility condition, but you have to take cover to get it. Let's do it this way. Okay. Inspired. Level 15. Let's do it this. Level 15. Nature's Veil. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 mana to take the hide action without needing cover, as a concentration effect. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 mana to take the hide action without needing cover. Oh, let's do it this way. Yeah. Let's just do it that way. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 mana to take the hide action without needing cover. Rolling. The result of the hide check cannot be less than 15. Because you have to hit at least a DC 15 to hide it all, regardless of what your target sense is. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 mana to take the hide action without needing cover. The result of the hide check cannot be less than 15. I see text. Current wording. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 mana to take... What are you saying? Oh, thank you. You can use this feature a number of times equal to the max rank of power gained as a ranger, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can expend 2 mana to regain 1 use. No action required. Thank you for the reference. You can use this feature a number of times equal to the max rank of power gained as a ranger. What do we do with martial powers anyway? Hold on. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Nature's Veil. As a bonus action, you give yourself the invisible condition until the end of your next turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to the max rank of power gained as a ranger, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Alternatively, you can expend 2 mana to regain 1 use, no action required. Yeah, okay. I mean, it already exists. We may as well just take it, right? I don't know why I was thinking so hard. Max spell level gained as a ranger, and you regain all expended use swing finish. Okay, good enough. Good talk. Thank you. All right, back on track. We're halfway done. What time is it? 6:45. I have 15 minutes left. So we'll get through as much of this as we can. My intention is to come back and play with this tomorrow at lunchtime, like around maybe 1 o'clock Seattle time, PST -8 UTC, and then if we get done with the second levels, then we'll get into the third levels, and then on Thursday, I think on Thursday and Friday. No, Friday I'm going to have a long morning art stream. And then I'll be out for the rest of the day. I won't be here at all on Saturday. So yeah, tomorrow lunch, Thursday lunch, and then yeah. So tomorrow, yeah. There you go. Thanks for this. There's that, and back into that. Let's see. Knock, right. Second level, instant, okay. Transmutation, that's generally going to be blue and red. Choose an object you can see within range. The object can be a door, box, chest, blah. A target that is held shut by a mundane lock and is stuck becomes unbarred and blah, blah. Target held is shut, arcane lock, and it suppresses it for 10 minutes. Suppression tends to be blue, so blue, red confirmed. I, U, R. How about that? Something really big that I want to start playing with for the ranger, the paladin, and the artificer. That'll really make being a half caster using the martial powers system pretty good. Hold on real quick. Hey, what's up? Does this version work on city gates? What, the knock spell? I reckon it would. There's a door, right? Where are we at? Spell casting with power. Okay, here we go. Maintain concentration on a spell follows the rules as presented in the Color Mana spell point variant rules on DMsGuild. Each rank of... Okay, this is what I'm going to change. You can... You can sustain you can maintain concentration on a total number of mana equal to your max spellcasting level, in addition to sustaining a number as well as sustaining a similar number of powers. For example, a 9th level ranger can sustain 3 ranks of power and concentrate on up to 3 levels of magic at the same time. That makes the half cast. So using, okay, so the martial power system goes is ranked 1 to 5, like a half caster is. The ranger, something is stuck. There. For example, sustained power to not limited. You are not limited to number of powers. For example, a natural ranger can sustain 3 ranks of power and concentrate on up to 3 levels of magic at the same time. Period. So the half caster can only go to 5th level. The marshals can channel up to 5 ranks of power. The full casters can cast up to and maintain concentration on up to 10 levels of spells. So what a neat step to be a hybrid between casters and marshals is to be able to have at 20th level 5 ranks of power and 5 levels of concentration at the same time, which ends up being 10 mana worth of effects that you're sustaining, just like the 20th level full caster could do. I like that a lot. So a ranger has concentration spells and sustained powers. Yes, yeah, has them both. It always has. The paladin does and the artificer does. So you can stack those things together. Do you want an exception for spell powers with the same name? I don't think there are any spells and powers with the same name. Are you but like if you're using the martial power system, you don't use smite. If you're using martial powers for your ranger, the ranger doesn't use Hunter's Mark. So like the Mark of Prey overrides and replaces favored enemy and Hunter's Mark. If you're using the Paladin Strike powers, they override and replace all the smite spells for the Paladin. A sorcerer that can somehow get access to Paladin spells, not as a Paladin, but like off of a spell list, or like it'd have to be off a spell list somehow, like a Biona spell list. But I digress. Yeah, I don't think there are any spells that actually duplicate. Like even the haste effect. Oh, good point. Like having celerity and haste active at the same time. I think it already says it doesn't stack with haste though. Let's go check out celerity real quick. Oh yeah, and like enlarge, reduce. Actually, that's a really fine point that hasn't been breached due to good graces so far. Let's go in here and let's go to do. Combine. Let's see. Stack. Sustained and concentration for half casters. And warlocks. Oh no, warlocks can't. Warlocks should not be allowed to stack. But mana, but warlocks have conflicting sustain concentration. Look at powers that mimic spells and discuss duplicate effects, overlapping, not stacking. That's something that's going to have to be explored. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, you mean like on stacking concentration? No. Once you have a bless spell active, that's it. And we also have a rule in here that says, like, if you have a power that gives you a bonus to a die roll, and you have bless active, you only take the, like, if I had bless, empowered ability, and empowered prowess, and say Bardic Inspiration, like a D12 Bardic Inspiration, D4 from Bless, and say a D8 from the empowered empowered prowess. I would roll all of those dice and only keep the best result. So I nerfed the D5 the E5 system a little bit because like I don't have Bless and Guidance and Bardic Inspiration all stack up, so you can get like a DC 60. The system's designed to be bounded accuracy, but they flubbed it by not having dice overlap. in the martial power system, dice always overlap, and specifically powers overlap with bardic inspiration dice and bless and other spells that give you a bonus like that. Just like how you don't get multiple die rolls on advantage with this system when you get a bonus die to do something, unless it's damage stacks. But anything that affects a D20 test, it's overlap. Take the best result. So like I could. And I guess it would be, do I want a chance using my Bardic Inspiration die to have a potential better result? Or do I want that Bless spell just to do the D4 for me because I don't need to burn my Inspiration yet? But that's a very fine caveat. Right. Okay. I will make sure I include it in the Color Mana system as well. I think it's important. I think it's actually really important to maintain game balance, that if you have a bunch of modifiers, that they don't just stack you to the moon. So let's do stacking. These are all variant rules anyway. You can pick and choose what you want amongst them. So like I suggest your paladin's bonus be equal to the spell level that you can cast as a paladin. So like at 7th level you can cast 2nd level spells. I think it should be 2nd level. By the time you get to 17th level, your Aura of Protection is a +5 bonus. And then it caps. That's the best. Like at 9th level, at 7th level, you don't need a +5 to all saving throws if you're nearby. Like that's just, it's too much. It's too binary. And having things based off of stats, I think it front loads it and doesn't give you any extra. It just becomes a default, basically with your 18 stat at level 1, and then it eventually becomes level 20, like around level 8 or 12. Like that's not much of a change. But if you have it ramp from like level 7 is 2, then 3 at 9, so you immediately get a kick with 9th level, and then 13th level it's a +4, and then at 17th level it becomes the +5 that you would have expected it to be all along. But it's delayed gratification when the DCs of creatures rise to need it, kind of like a balanced Pathfinder of everything growing together. This allows that to do. Dice stacking. Stacking dice for damage, yes. Dice modifiers. Bonus dice that increase the result of a D20 test overlap, not stack. Bonus dice that deal damage, stack. Yeah. And where are we at on time? Almost 7 o'clock. I'm going to have to stop here really, really soon. We didn't get as far as I wanted to, but I'm really happy with the work that we're doing. These are I think improvements to the system overall, and introducing them as basically stacking like layers of variant rules. Like if you use all of it, this is how I envision the game to work, but you can peel off any layer that you want that you don't want to use and run with what's left that you like. That's a nice way of offering these all as compartmentalized, isolated rules that operate in, like you could use my concentration mechanics without using my duration. You can use my duration mechanics without the concentration effects. You can use either or not, or you can use them both, either or neither one of those things with the D20 dice stacking thing we just noted. You could run Ranger exactly as the way you expect, just using mana instead of any of our effects. But the effects and changes that we're putting into the classes and the functionality of the game are designed to function around the idea that you can maintain concentration on multiple spells as you gain higher levels, which allows you to make pretty sharp combos that you want to keep an eye on for exactly an effect like that. So it's 7 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and cut stream here. I'm going to come back tomorrow at lunchtime. We'll spend an hour at lunch to run through. There's not a ton of spells left. There's 32 spells. I suspect we might be able to get through them all. But if not, then we'll be back on Thursday. We're gonna do launch on Wednesday and Thursday this week to do this. So I think by the end of Thursday, I suspect we're gonna get through. I'd like to get through 3rd level spells. I'm not sure how many there are. $25, 32. That's 57 and 77, 84. So we have 84 spells. And I've got Wednesday and Thursday, that's 2 hours. I suspect I'm gonna get through like maybe 60 of them. So we'll pick up next week and we'll continue working on them there. I'll probably have I'll have a lunchtime on Monday and Tuesday next week. I'm gonna be spending my lunches, I think, for the next couple weeks, going through all these spells and then starting to parse through the mechanics inside of the book. Like I said, we're rebuilding the books for 2024. So a lot of what already exists inside of these books is still functioning. But they all need changes and embellishments and reconsiderations because of what the 5e24 game system has done for us. So, like I said, all these spells are in here. And plus this old original version of the book, it still has the... where's the preview? There's the preview button. When we originally made this book, each spell was only one color each. And we found out after more, initially it was cool, it was fresh. But as we started getting like around level 12 of our first 20 level campaign running this, it started to get a little stale. And we were looking for reasons to increase like what spells, what colors each spell can be devoted to. And that's when we came up with, like, if there's anything that could possibly be, make it all of them. So that just seemed like really obvious. Yeah, constant, like fly being concentration. That makes total sense. 3rd level is going to be pretty easy, I think. But it's just, we want to spend the time to not make any assumptions and read through everything to make sure that since all the spells in 2024 changed, this is hardly a futile effort of refamiliarizing ourselves with the changes that have been made and have a fresh look at how can we lean into what 2024 has done with spells to make them better. And while also more balanced in the game in general. So I like that. I think we're in a good space. So yeah, man, thanks a lot for hanging out. I really appreciate you. I'm out of here, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning to do more artwork. I'll be back at lunch tomorrow around 1 o'clock, Seattle PST -8 UTC. We'll be back on Thursday morning and Thursday lunch as well. And then I'll be back Friday morning for some early morning art. And then I'll be out for the rest of the day. And then I won't be here on Saturday. And then Monday we'll go back to normal, doing lunch at Monday, Tuesday lunch stream, Friday lunch stream, Saturday morning I will do Martial Power Color Mana design. And then not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, we'll be back to doing Strixhaven, Mage Tower, PvP Arena Combat playtesting. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you all on the other side. Thanks everybody for hanging out. If you like this stuff, I've been doing it for years, and I'm hoping to do so for many, many more. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notification. Bloop, to keep an eye on what we got going on. Be welcome to join my Discord channel down here to participate in any playtesting, or if you want to DM this stuff, I'll provide you as much guidance and information as you need to make it work for yourself. All my stuff is free preview. Here's a bunch of other books. They're chock full of my art and ideas. You can just open them up just to look at the kind of artwork I do if that's what you want to do, or if you're a D&D enthusiast and you want to use this stuff, purchasing always encourages me to do more, but I want you to read the stuff before you commit to it. So if you want to support me, God bless you. You can do so on Patreon. Buying the books is the best way to support. Like, subscribe if you can't afford anything. So God bless you. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye.